Hi guys, today we're gonna analyze a Turkish player Thaldrin from 1907 Fenerbahce playing Akali in EU West Master tier. Akali gets 47% kill participation and 3.2 KDA in this game. Akali is a mobile assassin who deals lots of damage. Her main goal is to kill fragile targets utilizing her mobility and burst damage and then escape the fight with blinks or invisibility. Thanks to her self-healing, Akali can survive for a long time during teamfights, but beware of enemy crowd control and burst damage. Akali is one of the easiest snowball champions. If you get a couple of kills in the beginning, you'll become extremely hard to stop, because you'll be able to kill 1 vs 2 and escape the fight in case of danger. A top lane Akali Yasuo matchup is good for Akali because it's almost impossible to ult her and she can escape Yasuo's knockup with her invisibility. Although surviving until level 6 without losing much is fairly difficult because Akali isn't that powerful without her ult. Yasuo on the other hand is quite powerful thanks to his basic attacks, mobility and shield. Although you unlock your cool ultimate on level 6 and Yasuo doesn't really get much. During teamfights Akali should only be afraid of Skarner, who can kill her with his ult. So you'll either need to choose a very smart position or buy QSS to remove Skarner's ult. Alright, so let's review Akali's rune setup. Domination with Keystone Electrocute is the best Akali primary path choice because it gives you much needed burst damage for your spells. Then take Sudden Impact because you can easily proc it with Akali's Blinks and Eyeball Collection because Zombie Ward has been seriously nerfed in patch 8.7. Your last rune is Ravenous Hunter, which gives you extra sustain for the lane and for the teamfights. Your secondary path should be Resolve, since this matchup will be hard for Akali before she reaches level 6, and you need to survive early game somehow. Bone Plating and Chrysalis are a great choice because they will help you endure being up against Yasuo until level 6. Early game will be hard for Akali, especially against champions with ranged basic attacks or melee champions with powerful basic attacks. You'll have to try not to lose too much HP and farm as many minions as your enemy lets you. Try freezing enemy minions under your tower so you don't get harassed on the lane and can farm and get some healing from your passive. As you can see, even in a hard matchup, Akali managed to win by placing a convenient minion wave. And since Yasuo doesn't have enough sustain, he loses trades due to his HP, plus Akali easily removes his shield with her Q spell. In this case, it's better for Akali to return to her base and then teleport back to the lane because Yasuo has already spent his teleport and lost half of HP. Akali takes a huge risk and stays under the tower anyway. Yasuo dives and Akali survives with only 3 HP left. Akali comes out a winner, so the risk is justified. Akali deals lots of damage and would have easily killed Yasuo 1 vs 1, but Skarner was there too, so she couldn't afford it. It's worth noting how well Akali dodges Yasuo's knockup and Skarner's gank. You can see how convenient it is for Akali to stand on this lane thanks to her sustain and damage. 1 Q plus AA plus E plus Electrocute combo can shave off about 50% of Yasuo's HP. She can easily kill Yasuo thanks to her spells and blinks. Akali's strong suit in teamfights is her ability to remain invisible for long periods of time. Don't confuse invisibility with camouflage though. Akali can't be revealed with a control ward. She can be with TF's ultimate or Lee Sin's Q Sonic Wave, but her enemy doesn't have any champions with true sight, so Akali feels very comfortable in the thick of a fight and can exit and enter it at will. Although don't forget that invisibility doesn't protect you from AoE damage. Akali, just like any other assassin, loves catching enemy champions one by one. She can dash up to 3 times with her ult, making it an easy task, so always try catching stray enemies. Don't forget to buy pink wards, so when you plan ambushes, you're sure you're not standing on an invisible ward yourself. Due to Hextech Gunblade, her passive ability, and the Ravenous Hunter rune, Akali has massive self-healing. She can sometimes kill enemies 1 vs 2 if they don't have much control, burst damage or ways to reduce her healing rate. And so early game is done, and the red team has a huge advantage. All they need to do now is group up, all 5 of them, break the T3 tower on one of the lanes and destroy the inhibitor. Or if you don't have enough siege potential, you can also set up vision around Nasha, push the lanes and take this epic monster. With Nasha's buff, any team with 7k gold advantage will finish the game. But as it often happens in solo queue, red players continue acting alone. The blue team on the other hand knows they are losing, groups up and finds an opportunity to take Nasha. And this Nasha will prolong the game for 20 more minutes. Friends, don't ever let your enemy prolong the game. If you have an advantage, finish it as quickly as possible. During the teamfights, a better Akali strategy is to not rush in at all 5 enemies, but pick them off one by one, meaning you have to catch targets that got separated from their team. Have some patience and wait for the right moment to enter the teamfight, after your enemies have spent their control spells. Hextech Gunblade and Zhonya's Hourglass are the core of your build. Hextech Gunblade gives you bonus burst damage, healing and slow, and Zhonya is your only option to save yourself when Twilight Shroud is on cooldown, because Akali doesn't have escape abilities. The third item is either Morellenomicon, which gives plus 15 magic penetration, which is very important for assassins, or Lichbane, which grants you bonus burst damage, but Akali's HP will be very low if you take this item. For optional items, take Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which became very cost effective after patch 8.4, then Rabadon's Deathcap, which is usually built as the 4th or the 5th item. Finish up with Void Staff against enemies who start building for MR. Okay, so let's talk about teamfight positioning a little bit more. Akali is an assassin that can dash during her ultimate, and like any other assassin, she has to flank the enemy team. She can't attack head-on because she may get caught in the enemy tank's crowd control. That's why Akali is trying to flank and Yasuo is trying to prevent her from doing it. Most people forget that Twilight Shroud lets Akali blink to any point on the map in the spell's range. She can even blink through walls. Use this trick to deceive your enemies. So, this is what you need to take out of this episode. Lane phase. The hardest thing when playing Akali is surviving until level 6 without losing too many minions and experience. As soon as you get to level 6, you get more damage and mobility. Sustain. Akali has good sustain on the lane and in teamfights. Despite Akali being an assassin, she doesn't have high burst damage. Try prolonging the fights to utilize your self-healing. You have Twilight Shroud and Zhonya for that. Beware of enemy control and burst damage. Catch. Akali, like any other assassin, is very good at catching single targets and not letting them sleep thanks to her ultimate's dashes. And finally, teamfights. During the teamfights, you, just like any other assassin, have to flank the enemy team and attack their carries directly, avoiding the tanks. Try using Twilight Shroud to zone your enemies so you can focus their carries. So that's it guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, good luck in your solo queue.